Speaking of The Last Dance documentary, since you guys set me up so well, after the first 2 episodes aired on Sunday night, everyone has been weighing in and sharing their thoughts, including Kendrick Perkins, who ended up coming to LeBron's defense, saying that no one has higher expectations than LeBron in NBA history. Perk went on to say, if Bron scores 63 and 49 in a series and gets swept, every sports network is talking about his inability to get it done, while MJ is getting praised and awarded Player of the Game in losses. So, Shannon, does Perk have a point here?
1,000,000,000,000%. And we know Perk very well. He is a guy that's very honest. He speaks his mind. And I commend him for that. But I've been saying that for years. I've never seen a guy in the history of sports get more praise and adulation for losing than one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now, the very same people that praised Michael Jordan when he dropped 63 and they lost condemned Devin Booker for scoring 70 and having a sign that read 70. These same people, one on our very network who happens to work with me, condemned LeBron James for 51, 8, and 8 in the Warriors game, game 1, said he couldn't get it done. It was right there for the taking. But people forget, Jenny, but like I said, I just happened to be, I was graduating. That happened in April of 86. I graduated in June of 86. So I was 17, about to turn 18. People don't remember in that 63-point game, Michael Jordan missed a shot with 2 seconds left, Jenny. Did you know that? And he had a turnover. Skip Bayless hates turnovers because he keeps harping on the ones that LeBron James had in Game 6. He had some turnovers. I mean, they were just god-awful. Hold on. You mean to tell me in a loss, Michael Jordan had a turnover and he missed a game-winning shot? How's that clutch? But let me tell you what, I just hope as time passes, time is as great to LeBron James as it has been to Michael Jordan. And you know why I say that, guys? Because hopefully nobody will ever remember the misses, only the makes, like we do Michael Jordan.
I am dumbfounded by what you just said, and especially by what my man Kendrick Perkins tweeted. You know, Shannon, I love Kendrick Perkins, but I think I'm going to have to rename him Kendrick LeBron, because every time I turn around, Kendrick LeBron is defending LeBron for some reason that boggles my mind. I'm starting to think that he's been hired as the new PR director for Unclutch Sports. I don't know that for a fact, but it's starting to feel like that, because how could you dare to take a shot at Michael Jeffrey Jordan about his 49-point and 63-point games way back in 1986. And for Kendrick's sake, and maybe for our younger viewers' sake, Shannon says that he was old enough to sort of absorb what was happening in that game. Let me provide Shannon's favorite word here, context, for that game back in 86. That Bulls team was 30-52. That's how bad it was, and it somehow made the playoffs. I don't know why, and they didn't deserve to. But we knew the story from the Last Dance documentary the other night that at the end, remember, Jordan missed he only played 18 games that year. In the last 15 games, he was on a minutes restriction, 7 minutes per half. And he wanted to make the playoffs by beating Indiana in the last game, and they pulled him with a few seconds left. And still, John Paxson hit a shot that eked them into the back door of the playoffs they did not deserve to be in. But that was 8 versus 1, and 1 was the one. That was the Boston Celtics that Bird called in the Last Dance documentary the best team he ever played on. That team, by 5 games, was the best team during the regular season of 1986. 5 games clear of Magic's Showtime Lakers. That team was number 1 in holding down opponents' field goal shooting percentage, and it was number 3 in points allowed. And Kevin McHale was first-team all-defense, and Dennis Johnson, who mostly guarded Michael Jordan in those 2 games, was second-team all-defense. That's what Michael Jordan was up against with a team that was 30-52, and he had not been playing very much going into that first-round series. So he scores 49 in the first game, and then he scores 63 in the second game to force an impossible, improbable, huge upset of not one overtime, but 2 overtimes. And how did he do that, Shannon Sharpe? At the end of regulation, he got fouled with no time left on the clock shooting a jump shot. It was actually from 3, but in those days, they had just moved the free throw line, the three-point line back, so it was only a 2-shot foul, and he had to go by himself. It would have been LeBron's worst nightmare, and stand at the free throw line alone with nobody in the lane and make 2 free throws just to send it to overtime, and he swished both of them. So don't give me unclutch. I'll give you 63. It took 2 overtimes, but after the game, Larry Bird uttered the immortal quote, "It felt like it was God disguised as Michael Jordan." When have we ever heard anybody say that felt like it was God disguised as LeBron James? I've never heard that before. I'm sorry. And my problem with LeBron James is, Shannon, we go back and forth nearly every day. It feels like the media today gives LeBron James more passes than he throws when he doesn't want to take the last shot. He's constantly passing the ball because it's the right play. And the media is constantly giving him a pass for that. And now Kendrick LeBron is saying that Jordan got too many passes for not winning that. They had no chance. That Celtics team was on a roll that was going to result in the championship. That was the best team in basketball. They went and won the finals over the Houston Rockets in 6 games. How can you dare to try to demean or degrade what Michael Jordan did? Yeah, they got swept, but to even get game 2 to overtime was impossibly great.
Whoa, talk about Skip. Whoa, what kind of animal is a yabbit? I've never seen that before, and I've seen a lot of different animals, been to 4 continents, and I haven't seen that but. You see, you heap praise. You keep saying, who can get a team score 63 against the big 3 Celtics? You said all of that, but at the end result, what was the end result? You and everybody else, when LeBron James averaged 36, 13, and 9, how can you give a guy a finals MVP in a losing effort? The very people that's heaping praise on Michael Jordan for catching an L. Skip, how's it taking a shot at somebody if I'm speaking the truth? You do realize Michael Jordan in the last minute of that double overtime, in the second overtime, he had a turnover. That's not taking a shot. That's fact. You love facts. Hold up. How is this taking a shot if he missed a shot that would have won him the game? You kill LeBron. You keep talking about the big 3 Celtics. They went on and won the title. What about the Spurs? What was their record? They had the best record in the NBA. You remember in 2007 when he got swept? Okay, what about the Warriors? Did the Warriors not have the best record? He beat a team that won 73 games. You keep talking about the Celtics, and they were great in the 80s. Comparable to the Celtics in the 80s were the 2014, 2017, 2018 Warriors. But nobody wants to talk about KD. If KD is a great player when it comes to like he beat LeBron. He's great. But in the Pantheons, nobody wants to say how great KD is. He's great. He's historically great. So is Steph Curry. But everybody poo-poos them until they beat LeBron. Then when they beat LeBron over there, the LeBron choke. LeBron, he's not clutch. If LeBron scores 51, the most points in a finals loss, 8 points, 8 rebounds, oh, he's unclutch. Michael Jordan would have won that. No, he didn't. Michael Jordan got swept every time he didn't have a guy named Scottie Pippen. Name the series in which Michael Jordan didn't get swept, in which he had Scottie. And I'll just wait. You take as much time as you need. I need you to tell me the series in which he didn't get swept, in which he didn't have Scottie.
Okay, Shannon Sharpe. We're going to talk about this later, so I'm not going to go into great detail here. Scottie Pippen was a nice player. He was a really good player, but he was nothing but a good Robin. You know it, and I know it. And yes, Michael needed a little bit of help because you do need 5 players on the court at one time. And as great as he was, he needed one other pretty good player. He needed one other pretty good player, and at least he didn't have to take his talents to South Beach to join forces with Dwayne Wade, who was a much better player and leader and a much clutcher player and mentally tougher player than Scottie Pippen ever dreamed of being. And he joined forces with Dwayne Wade, who taught him how to win championships, and with Chris Bosh, who was a perennial all-star in Toronto. Michael had one all-star in Scottie Pippen, but he wasn't anything like Dwayne Wade as a leader and a big brother figure. LeBron needed a big brother. That's why he took his talents to South Beach. And by the way, we're talking about a 63-point game in Michael's second year in the league, in which he had broken his foot and played only 18 games. Help me out here, Shannon Sharpe. In LeBron James' second year in the league, how many playoff games did the Cleveland Cavaliers win? Go ahead, tell me, I'm waiting.
They didn't win any, but you just told me that Michael Jordan didn't deserve. They didn't. No, yes, Michael Jordan did make the playoff in his second year, and you said he shouldn't have made it because there was what? What did you say that record was? 40 and 42. 30 and 52. You said they shouldn't have made the playoffs. Now you're talking about LeBron. Look at LeBron's record in his second year. I guarantee you it was better than 30 and 52. But he didn't make the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there, Skip. You keep.
It's here.
You keep telling me LeBron James had to get help. But you just told me Michael Jordan needed some help. If I'm thirsty, if somebody brings me water or if I find water, as long as I quench the thirst, the job is done. LeBron had to go get help because they wouldn't bring it to Cleveland or they wouldn't come. He went to Miami. But I'm just trying to figure it out. You still haven't told. Michael Jordan was getting swept by the Bucks with one Hall of Famer. One. Sidney Moncrief. Al Lister, can I interest you in him, Skip? Huh? Randy Whitman, can I interest you in him? You like him? Well, what about Junior Bridgman? Junior Bridgman is an all-time great businessman. He was a good basketball player, but LeBron James getting swept by Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. Oh, you terrible, LeBron. He gets swept by 4 guys that's going to the Hall of Fame. KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, LeBron. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because, as we know, in 2007, what was that? LeBron's 4th year? He did get swept by my Spurs. They did have 3 Hall of Fame-bound players on them. And guess what LeBron averaged in that series? 22, 7, and 7. He shot 36% from the field, did LeBron James. That was 32 of 90 shots. That's not very good. Okay. He shot 20% from 3. That's really not very good. And as usual, he shot only 69% from the free throw line, which has always been his Achilles heel or feel, should I say, especially in big games and playoff games. So he put up incredibly pedestrian numbers as he got swept. At least Jordan, after playing only 18 games in his second year in the league, at least he scored 63? That still stands as the all-time playoff scoring record by a baby Jordan who only played 18 games in his second year. Wow, Shannon, you're trying to find fault with that? How outrageous is that? You're stupid to do that? It's beneath you.
What you do, Skip?
It's pathetic.
Skip, let me ask you a question. Who has the most passing yards in an NFL playoff game in NFL history? Can you tell me the guy?
I don't care at this point. We're talking about...
No.
Michael had played football, he would have the most passing yards.
But he didn't. I just want you to tell me, the guy that has the most passing yards in an NFL postseason game, and what happened in that game. Did they win or did they lose? You keep bringing it up, but when I tell you LeBron James is great, he loses, he lost. Michael Jordan would have won. If Michael Jordan... You told GOATs don't need help. I say, well, Skip, LeBron needs some help. Not if you the GOAT. Well, if Michael Jordan is the GOAT, why did he need Scottie Pippen? He got swept every every time he went to the playoffs without Scottie Pippen. And one more thing before I turn it back over to you. You do realize Michael Jordan was 23 when he got swept by the Bulls. When LeBron James got swept by the Spurs, he was 22. 22 getting swept in the finals, 23 getting swept in the first round. Now, since we adding value to wins to losses. Now, I can't remember the last time we done that on this show, but since we doing that, which is more impressive? Getting swept in the first round at 23 or getting swept in the NBA Finals at 22? You do the math.
Shannon, Michael Jordan, even with Scottie Pippen on his side, was still trying to fight through some of the greatest teams in the history of this league. Mentally tough, physically tough basketball teams such as the Bad Boy Pistons. And obviously, we just talked about Bird Celtics. And finally, they broke through against Magic Showtime Lakers once Kareem was retired. But once they broke through, I don't even have to remind everyone that Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs. I'm sorry. It's beyond anything LeBron could ever conceive. He's 3-6 in the finals. And I want to ask Kendrick Perkins this question, or as I'm now calling him, Kendrick LeBron. What happened when Kendrick was a Celtic in the last playoff series that LeBron played in before he took his talents to South Beach? The last go-round in Cleveland, what happened? LeBron played one great game in Game 3 at Boston Garden, and then right on time, he disappeared in Games 4, 5, and 6. How does Kendrick defend that, I would like to know, because it got so bad that Dan Gilbert, the Cavaliers owner, accused LeBron of quitting in those games. Did even the two Jerrys, Krause or Reinsdorf, ever accuse Michael Jordan of quitting in a playoff? No, nobody would. That's a thought that couldn't even go in anybody's head. But LeBron shrank in that series and faded until one of his insiders had to tell ESPN, he had to be sedated before those games because he was having an issue with a teammate in the locker room. Baloney. Well, Stop it.
Skip,
then he takes his talents to South Beach. And what happened, Shannon? What happened in South Beach? His first big NBA Finals with the Miami Heat. He disappeared. He melted down. The chosen one became the frozen one. How does Kendrick Perkins defend that? Again, everybody gave LeBron a pass for that, except me. You can't be the GOAT and melt down in games 4, 5, and 6 against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's be honest. Let's put it all out on the table. What LeBron hasn't been able to do. He's got so many epic fails on his record that Jordan never had.
Skip, accusations are not factual. It says in the Bible, said Noah was accused of drunkenness, but he still got the ark. So we'll debate that at another point in time when we go to Bible study. But let's go deal with these facts right here. If you remember, Skip Bayless, nobody put their teams together to beat the Bulls. If you remember, the Boston Celtics put their teams together to beat who, Skip? The Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers put their team together to beat the Boston Celtics. Detroit put their team together to get past the Celtics and to beat the Lakers. Now, if you look at what the big Celtics 2.0 did, they put their team together to take down GOAT James. The Warriors put their team together to take down GOAT James. He broke up dynasties in Boston. That dynasty went down the turnpike or up the turnpike to Jersey. He broke that up. Skip, stop playing. He made the Warriors with a unanimous MVP, won 73 games, go get the second best player in the NBA. That's what he did. Now, Skip Bayless, if you want to say Michael Jordan is the GOAT, hey, we're going to debate that to the end of time. But what I'm tired of y'all trying to do is to make it seem like he had no flaws. He had no faults on the court, and he did because he missed a shot in Game 5. You remember the NBA Finals when Tony Kukoc hit that three that got him in striking distance and Michael Jordan missed the final shot? You remember that, right? So that happened. Yeah. So when LeBron misses a shot, he's unclutched. Jordan misses a shot. Oh, he didn't have help. Man, stop this. Skip, I'm not trying to, look, I will never, ever diminish the guy. All I'm asking you to do, and all I'm asking the people that saw Michael Jordan and that are cool with Michael Jordan, Call it like you see it. If 63 points in a loss, if you lost, if the end result is an L, say that. Don't heap praise on what he did, because LeBron James has had some virtuosos. He's called the L and you crushed it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all I'm saying is, let's be honest about what happened when LeBron had his playoff high, 51 points, game one at Oracle 2018. You know what happened. I told you the next day on Undisputed, hey, I've never seen him have a hotter hand from long range, from shooting outside, than he did that night. And he had 49 points all the way up to the last shot of regulation. And again, he gets the switch he wanted, and he had the Michael Jordan memorial, just sort of free throw line jump shot on Steph Curry, and he turned it down in favor of kicking it to George Hill as he cut to the basket. Clay did the right thing and fouled him, and George Hill missed one of the free throws, and it cost them the game. And obviously the long rebound went to JR, and he lost his mind for a second. And then LeBron lost his mind. Let's be honest about what happened. LeBron went to the bench in the break between regulation and overtime, and he pouted. He sat 3 seats down from his teammates' huddle, and he didn't want to associate with his team. He hung his head, and his body language said, I don't want to be part of this anymore. And he continued to pout into overtime because he refused to even take a shot for the first 2.5 minutes of that overtime, and they fell behind by 7 points and could not make it up. He scored only 2 points the rest of the way in that overtime, and they got blown out basically in overtime by 11 points. That was shameful. That was not goatish. That was beneath LeBron's dignity to pout like that because JR had a brain glitch. And in the end, that's something Jordan would have never done. Jordan didn't do that in the 2 overtime game. I'm sorry. He made the 2 free throws to force overtime.
Okay. He got an overtime. Hold on. But that's you prime now. Because remember, Skip Bayless, hold on. LeBron lost to a team that had three of the last 4 MVPs, the last 2, the regular season, the finals MVP and KD, and LeBron took them to overtime. So with 4 Hall of Famers, 3 MVPs, 3 of the last 4 MVPs on that roster, LeBron get them to overtime, and you're crushing it. Michael Jordan, the only MVP on the team was Larry Bird, and he gets them to overtime, in which he missed the shot that would have won the game in the regular overtime, and then you praise it. That's all I'm saying, Skip Bayless. 2 + 2 got to be 4. No matter why you do it, no matter when, where, why, and how, it's the same. So I want you to put that same kind of punishment, that same kind of pain on Michael Jordan. He missed the shot that would have won the game. He lost. He lost. He caught an L, period.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.